So it's been exactly 1 year since I posted my initial video about deconstruction. How have I changed since I posted that video? The biggest way that I have changed is I've done so much more processing of my time in Christianity. And as I've worked through it, I find myself spending less and less time thinking about Christianity. And honestly, I don't want to spend as much time thinking about it. A lot of atheists, especially in the online sphere, the YouTube sphere, spend most of their time dissecting, breaking down, and disproving Christianity. And for a while, I wanted to do that too. I thought that's what this channel is totally all going to be about. I was angry that I'd wasted so much of my youth, and there's still a part of me that is frustrated and angry about it from time to time, and all the ways that Christianity has caused harm in my life and other people's lives. But rather than dwell on it and stay in it, my desire has kind of shifted to making the most out of however many days, months, and hopefully years I have left on planet Earth. And I don't believe, with my personality, with my skill sets, and my passions, that spending all my time trying to pull people out of Christianity or disprove Christianity or whatever is where my time should be spent. Will I spend some doing that? Absolutely. But it won't be like the main thrust of what I do with my life. I don't necessarily want like my whole legacy to be about disproving Christianity. I'm not totally sure what I want my whole legacy to be. Will it be one thing? Will it be a lot of different things? I feel like one of the main ideas that Christianity, especially like modern evangelical Christianity, pushes is that God has one purpose for your life, one thing he wants you to do, and that's what you've got to do for your whole life. And I reject this premise. I reject this idea. I think that even if you are a Christian, you should absolutely reject this idea too. People are so many different things throughout their lives. You can do so many different things. You can be so many different things and have so many different interests, passions, goals, visions, and do a ton of stuff with your life. You don't have to have one thing that you do for your entire freaking life. Like, let that idea go and live. I love to dance. I love to make movies. I feel very passionate about Ukraine, very passionate about social justice, very passionate about making a difference in different parts of the world. I love learning different cultures. Like, there are so many different things that I can do. And sometimes, they might all converge into one thing, and sometimes they might be their own separate little things. And that's okay. That's more than okay. That's really freaking exciting. So really, if anything, over this year, I've embraced that my life will change and evolve, and that I'm not a niche, not just in regards to this channel that I'm not just a niche, but in my life, I'm not just one thing. And a year from now, my life could look entirely different than it does now. Certainly it looks entirely different than it did 2 years ago. This channel might look entirely different. My whole life might look different. And to me now, I find that exciting. Like, I don't want things to just be the same forever. And I'm also in the process of learning to bet on myself, to trust myself more. Christianity teaches you really never trust yourself. Your heart is deceitful. Don't trust what you think, what you feel. Don't do that because it will lead you astray. It'll lead you into trouble. And that's also a premise that, while I rejected it intellectually a long time ago, I've really been making strides in rejecting in my own personal life. In Christianity too, authority figures, they're always there. God obviously is like the primary authority, always with you, always in you, always guiding you, always telling you what he wants you to do. And really over the last year, I've chosen to shed that, to shed having those authority figures in my life. I've gotten rid of some mentors that sort of held that place in my life, some mentors who were increasingly pushing kind of Christian beliefs and ideas as well. Had a business coach, love him to death, amazing guy, super smart guy, super great at business, but he is increasingly kind of pushing Jesus in his model of coaching. He's getting more into doing different sorts of coaching that are very much in like this Christian brand. And so I had to just in beginning of November, just let that go because it's trying to pull me in a direction that I don't want to go. It's trying to put this authority over me. And I tended to view him kind of as an authority figure over my life versus, somebody who is just kind of like helping me grow my business, helping me grow personally. He was like this authority figure that I had to do what he said and please. And if I didn't, I was going to be in trouble. And it was just kind of a crazy thing in my mind. He didn't put any of that on me, but coming from that Christian background, that's what I took from it. Because when we started coaching, I was still very much a Christian. Like I'd been with this guy for years. Like we'd started and then I started branching off one way and he started going the other way. And so we're just completely different places in our lives now. And I don't want to replace him. I don't want another authority figure, so to speak, somebody telling me what I have to do, somebody telling me how to run my business, telling me how to run my life even. I don't want any of that. I spent, the first 26, 27 years in Christianity with that. And then, kind of had these different mentors, including this guy, who essentially were telling me how to run my life. Not that makes it sound in a really negative light. They were trying to give good advice for me to, run my business and stuff. But 2024, I want to take a little break from that. I don't know how long of a break. I may hit a point where I'm like, okay, I need a mentor of a different kind. It might look like just like a financial advisor or, something. It might, there's some different ways that could look, but definitely don't want somebody who is like a moral authority telling me what's right and what's wrong and that I can, shoot this kind of video or can't shoot this kind of video or I can or can't swear or whatever, That's not the way that I'm going to operate my life in 2024. And so that's some of like the really big ways that I have changed and transformed since doing my initial video about deconstruction. So really my deconstruction now I feel like is becoming reconstruction. I'm rebuilding my life in a new way, finding out how I want to rebuild my life. And that's a really wonderful, really powerful thing. So hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you did, consider subscribing to continue following me on my journey, follow my thoughts about life, religion, politics, world events, and I will catch you in the next video.